Good evening guys, and welcome to tutorial number 7 in this digital car modification series. This is lighting and lighting effects. What we're going to learn here guys is how to basically fit new lights to your car from donor images, how to tint your lights, how to clear your lights if you want to have clear indicators or clear rear lights or whatever. You're going to learn how to do that. We're going to learn how to add neon lights underneath the car. We're going to learn how to make it look like your headlights are on. And if we've got time, we're going to look at how to do headlight conversions, very basic ones, by using an extension of the bonnet to maybe give a brow or something. We'll see how we go. Okay guys, so here I've got an image of a Volkswagen Polo. Now if you check out my session video called VW Reloaded, I use this image and create something really cool out of it guys, so check it out. I'll leave your comments behind as to what you think. Right guys, so what I did is basically got a donor image into Photoshop, used the rectangular marquee tool to select the light. I pressed Ctrl C to copy, and then I went into this image and pressed Ctrl V, and it pasted this little square here. And what I've done guys, using the lasso tool, which is L on your keyboard, okay, I basically just made a rubbish selection, as you can see around this light. Obviously you guys will do it much neater. And when you're here guys, you right click into the selection, go to select inverse and press delete. Then you press V on your keyboard and then press Ctrl D. Okay, and then that allows you to move your light to where you want to put it. Now guys, the way I find best to fit lights is to measure it out from one side, and then obviously you can work on transforming the rest. Control T gets you into free transform mode, which is going to make it slightly bigger. Okay, and then rotate it slightly. I'm going to fit the top left hand corner first. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Then I'm going to move my anchor point to the point that I fitted, so I can adjust everything from there. So I'm going to rotate it round. And as you can see, it just needs to come down a bit more here, and maybe rotate a bit more. And guys, just adjust it. And if you're gonna scale it, try and use the Alt button on your keyboard, just so you scale it within proportion. Okay, it's just gonna make it look a bit less pixelated and better, depending on the resolution of the image itself. Okay, so that's pretty cool there. I'm gonna hold down Control as well, just so I can adjust it a bit. Can try and get it up here a bit just to fit, and then down from here. And it's very fine sort of tuning to just get the image right. So I mean, that doesn't look too bad. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. It will suffice for this tutorial guys. So as you can see, it's pretty cool headlight conversion. But guys, what I can't stress enough is don't leave it like that. Remember guys, make it look as realistic as possible. So go to image adjustments, curves, and then just put the exposure up slightly to just make it look a bit more realistic. Or you can just do that, mess it up. Right guys, so the exposure is going up a bit just to make it look a bit more shiny, because the image is quite bright and light is quite dark. So just adjust it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but there you go guys, that's how to do a headlight conversion. And like I said, you can use this for rear lights, side lights, whatever. And what you could do here is just neaten it up by erasing around the edges, adding a bit of shadow to make it look a bit more realistic. Guys, here we've got a picture of a Volkswagen Polo. We're going to learn how to clear and tint lights in general. So make a copy of the image, Ctrl J, rename it car. It's good practice. Get your lasso tool, L on your keyboard, and then make a selection of your light as neat as possible. And what we're going to do guys here, we're going to work in layers. I always talk about how good layers is, and this is one of the points where we're going to work in layers, and I'll show you why it's so good. So just make a copy. Obviously do it much neater than I am, but we're pressed for time, so I need to rush it guys. I do apologise. Okay, press Ctrl C and V, and that pastes it into a new layer, and call it left rear, just so we're organised and we know what we're working on. Right, to clear this light guys, what we need to do is go to image adjustments, channel mixer, and go to monochrome. Okay, and then you can play around with the red channel, and as you can see, it clears the light, it removes all the colour, and you can play around with the contrast to get the effect that you're looking for. If you're looking for that clear rear light, just play around with the settings and get the effect that you want. So that's one way of clearing your lights guys. Okay, now we're going to learn how to tint your lights. So again guys, zoom in, make a copy of your rear light. And guys, this is a perfect opportunity to show you guys, if you're new to Photoshop, an error message that you might come across now and again, which is kind of a common one that I used to get when I first started out in Photoshop. And I'll just display it for you now. Right, so you've got this, and you want to copy and paste it into a new layer. So that's Control C and V. And when you press it, this comes up. could not complete the copy command because the selected area is empty. The reason for this, guys, is because you're in a layer that doesn't have anything there to select. So as you can see, we've got left rear selected, and in that layer there's nothing there to select. So guys, if you do get an error message, just check your layers palette, make sure you're selected on the layer you want to extract from, and try it again. Control CV, and as you can see, it pastes. Rename your layers so you know exactly where they are, and then what you want to do, guys, is go to Image Adjustments, Hue and Saturation, select the red channel, select red on the light, drop the saturation. If there's any red that hasn't been added, you can hold down Shift and select it. But that looks pretty good for a rough selection, and you can use this tactic to clear the light as well. You can just put the lightness up, or what you can do is tint the color, guys, to something different. What you're looking for, maybe a green light. I don't know why you would do that, but you might want to. If it's too strong, change the saturation. As you can see, you can play around with that and just get a cool different sort of effect that you're after. So that's how to tint lights, guys, and like I said, you can use that for any light on any car, it doesn't matter. Moving on to our Ford Mustang GT, we're going to make a copy here, and guys, what we're going to do is we're going to add a neon light underneath, okay? So call this car, and then make a new layer, guys, by pressing this little icon down here, and call this neon, okay? Grab your lasso tool, L on your keyboard, make a selection, literally like the suspension video, guys, if you watched it, of the underside of your car, okay? Make it as neat as possible. Don't do it as rushed as I am, but I just need to get this out of the way, guys, because we've got still a bit to get through, and we're already on 6.5 minutes. So, you know, I can't select today, guys. I don't know what's going on. I think it's all that Red Bull I've been drinking all day. I just like start shaking. It's crazy. Right, once you got a selection, guys, in your new layer, you're going to go to Edit, Fill, and then go to where it says Contents, go to Color, select the color of your neon light that you want to have, go to OK, and then hit OK, and now you've got this very unrealistic color. Press Ctrl D to deselect, and obviously you're not going to have square wheels like I have because you've selected it perfectly. And you want to go to this fill box and either select overlay or soft light, depending on what look you're going for, and depending on what picture you have, it might look better in a certain way. Now, as you can see, it's got a pretty cool neon effect. So what you need to do now, guys, is hit E on your keyboard, select the eraser tool, okay, and then get a brush with low opacity, guys, because what you want to do now is you want to erase around and try and get the basic outline as to what you want your neon to do, where you want your neon to come out. And as you can see, light just doesn't disappear, guys, and if you use a hard edge brush at 100% opacity, the light will just disappear and it won't look as realistic as it could, okay? So just do that, and then once you're happy, guys, just put the opacity up to 100, and because you've got a feathered brush, okay, you can erase and still give it that sort of realistic the light sort of fading away look. It just doesn't disappear. If you did have a hard edge brush, that's what it would look like. So that's a basic how to do a neon light underneath your car, guys. Now, if for whatever reason it's a bit too strong or whatever, you can play around with the opacity here and drop the opacity. As you can see, it adds different effects. So that's how to do neon lights, guys. Right, and finally, let me just delete this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a copy of this and just add a soft light effect just to make it darker, to show you the headlight conversion, well, not the headlight conversion, the tool that you use to make it look like your headlight is on. Just going to flatten the layers by holding Control, Shift and E. Okay, and what to do to make you look like your headlights are on, guys, and this is a really cool effect, is go to Filter, and then you want to go to Render, guys, and then go to Lens Flare. Okay, and from here, as you can see, you can use, there's 4 preset lens flares that you can use, you know, to make it look like your headlights are on. Here's a pretty cool sort of HID effect. The only down thing about this, guys, you can't zoom in, so guess roughly where you want the light. Okay, you can drop the brightness down, but I'll leave it up just so I can show you guys exactly what this thing looks like. That will do. And then, as you can see, that's literally like your headlight is on. And then Filter, Render, and you can add another one on the other light. Just click there, but drop the lightness a bit maybe. And then, as you can see, guys, that's how to make it look like your headlights are on. So that's basically lighting and lighting effects in a nutshell, guys. I'm sorry we were rushed, but we're already on 9.5 minutes, so I'm out of time. But if you have any questions or comments or anything, just drop them by, and I'll do my best to answer any queries. Also tutorial requests, more than happy to try and get some up for you if you're having trouble with anything. So you know, if you want to know more, just get in contact. But that's the video for today. I appreciate your time watching it, and I'll see you on the next tutorial.